This is WSGW, and it is 5:07. It is Thursday, December 14th, 2023. This is the date of the Sharing Hope Radiothon on WSGW and our Alpha Media stations to benefit the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan. Presented since 6 o'clock this morning by Bronner's Christmas Wonderland, by Fisher Contracting, by Mercantile Bank. And since 6 o'clock this morning, you have been calling the Martin Chiropractic Hope line at 989-755-HOPE. That's 989-755-4673. And we thank you for all that you've done during this day. And now we are into the final hour of the Radiothon. We call it the Over the Top Hour, with special representation from Champagne and Marx. My name is Charlie Rude. Happy to be here with you this morning as we were, and here for the Over the Top Hour. We have special guests that will come forth this hour. And of course, they don't get any more special than the CEO of the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan. And that would be you, Dan Streeter. We said good morning to you earlier. We now say good afternoon. As dark as it's getting, we probably could say good evening to you too.
I was just wondering where that line is. Yes. 5 o'clock is an awkward time.
Well, let's make sure it is less than awkward because of our goal to try and achieve $60,000. Let's start this hour. Let's set it up. Dan Streeter, where do we stand?
It's been an amazing day so far, and to hear so many great testimonials and to hear people call and to get engaged, whether it's been online, going through the website, or whether calling in directly. But we sit on the precipice of being able to have an amazing day. Right now we sit at $49,699.
Wow.
So it's an amazing number, but we have a little bit of work to do. And so to help accomplish some of that work, we need to bring in a couple heavy hitters.
Who did you bring in as the heavy hitters?
Well, if anybody has been listening to the Radiothon for any time at all, they know that Tom and Ginger mean a lot to Rescue Ministries. And to tell you the truth, I can't remember how many years it's been. It's been a lot of years that Tom first reached out to us, and he wanted to do something extremely practical for some of our people who were they were there bettering themselves at the mission, and they needed shoes in his mind because as he told the stories in years past, shoes were a big issue to him, and he wanted to pass that on to others to help people in need who were getting ready to get into employment. And so he helped pay the way for us to take individuals from our shelter who were going into work to then come down to the Red Wing Shoe and to get outfitted with a brand new pair of shoes. Just an amazing effort of love. And so he did it many, many years anonymously, didn't want anybody to know about it. And then his daughters kind of got involved with it a little bit and started to want to thank their dad and show their appreciation for their dad's heritage. Maybe I'll let you guys tell the story a little bit.
Who did you have in the studio with us?
So we got Annie and we've got Christine, and I never can get the last names right because, really they're Marx. So,
right. So what do you get the guy who has everything? So my dad has a birthday in November. He just turned 86, by the way.
Happy birthday.
Wow. And then Christmas is right behind. So what do you get somebody who he needs a new fishing pole? So you're like, all right, that's what I'm going to get him. And then he goes to the store and buys one because he needs this new fishing pole. So we just never knew what to get him. And we knew how near and dear the rescue mission was to his heart. So that's what we've been giving him for years for Christmas, is Annie and I make a donation to the rescue mission in my dad's honor. One year, they said it was in memory of, and our phones were ringing off the hook. But it is in honor of our father, Tom Marx, that Annie and I donate to the City Rescue Mission. And we know that it's important for him to see people have a roof over their head and shoes on their feet, and the Rescue Mission can do both of those things for people. And we are so blessed to have something like that in our area. There's so many places that don't have that, and we're just so lucky to have something like that in our area.
We should say that we're blessed that your father did have that connection and that you continue his legacy in a way to honor him as he still is around and having a chance to hopefully listen to the broadcast and hear what his daughters are talking about today.
What is so fun, and obviously Tom has such a footprint in this region, not only for the tremendous work and the company that has resulted, but just also all the charitable things that he has done, and so many of them unknown. But he's also, I think, known for being a little bit of a character as well. And so it's so intriguing as we get closer and closer to Radiothon Day. Even today, there's been a couple calls. A couple people made gifts earlier in the day saying, "Yeah, I want to make Tom Marx pay." So,
well, that's a good point, because there's a matching opportunity for this over the top hour where we're trying to reach that goal of $60,000, and we're about 11,000 short. But because of Champagne and Marx and Tom, we're going to have a chance to get closer because of the matching funds.
Exactly. So Champagne and Marx, the daughters, their Christmas present is to provide this match opportunity in honor of their father. And then also we have another anonymous donor coming alongside. So in this last hour, we have $5,000 worth of matched dollars. So if you make a call right now, it's going to get matched dollar for dollar. If we could take full advantage of that match, we could go over the top. So literally that's our hope. That's our goal during this hour. And start making those phones ring right now.
The number to call, the Martin Chiropractic Hope Line, 989-755-HOPE. That's 989-755-4673. I have expectations that we're not going to have to go down to the end of the hour to go over the top, that our generous listeners, with the thanks to Champagne and Marx and the anonymous donor, are going to help us achieve that goal. And maybe we can blast all the way through past 60,000. We've never achieved 60,000. Came close last year at 58.
Yes.
We want to pass it up and do so as this hour goes along.
So we have two daughters here. I'm sure anything you want to share as well about your father?
So my dad told us that his mother always said, "It's better to give than receive." And he said, "Mom, I'm sure it is not." And he found out it actually is better to give than receive. So he's really happy to have this opportunity to have us give him that as a gift for Christmas and his birthday. And we're honored to be here. And we want all you to call in and charge us all kinds of money to go over the top.
And so one of my dad's famous lines on the radio show, because I've heard him in the past, is, "I know you're all driving home from work, so just pull over, lean over, grab your wallet out of your pocket, pull out that credit card and call."
You can make that call. Again, 989-755-HOPE. If you'd rather donate using Venmo or PayPal, that opportunity exists too. We know that there are some, particularly in a younger generation sense, that use those types of ways to make payments. And you can do the same thing with your donations to the Rescue Ministries. Going back to the shoes you talked about.
Yes.
And we talked about this throughout the day. It sounds funny because you're talking shoes. What can shoes do? But that's part of just the basics of what people need as they come in to seek your help. Is a new pair of shoes can do a world of good.
It really is. And, not only because of the industry that Tom was working in, when knowing how important a good quality pair of shoes are, but just also the generosity behind it. It was, not going to get a $25 pair of shoes, but helping invest in somebody in a meaningful way. And I can guarantee the individuals over these years that have been gone on those trips, they've never been into a Red Wing shoe store. To be able to have that kind of personalized care and that demonstration of love meant so much to them. And I'm sure that when the day comes and Tom's in heaven and he gets to meet up with some of these individuals, the appreciation that's going to be shared, we have no idea the effect that he's really been able to have in lives.
can't say much more than thank you again for being with us, the daughters of Tom, representing him because he couldn't be with us in the studio today. We'll talk more about that as this hour goes along. But as you said, let's get some of that money matched.
Right.
Yes.
Let's get some money in here.
So that's
I can hear the phones ringing now from here.
That's what we want to do. We're to take a break, come back. We have some other guests that we want to talk to. But right now, 989-755-HOPE, 989-755-4673, the Modern Chiropractic Hope line for the Sharing Hope Radiothon presented by Bronner's Christmas Wonderland, Fisher Contracting, Mercantile Bank. This hour, the over top hour, Champagne and Marx, and an anonymous donor, up to $5,000 matched between now and 6 o'clock. We got that goal of $60,000. We're close. We need you to call now.
We invented short stature corn. Then we perfected it. Years of genetic research helped us refine a new approach to plant structure that offers durability and yield performance. These one-of-a-kind hybrids are derived from the latest, most superior corn genetics from one of the industry's largest corn breeding programs. For maximum season-long performance, choose our exclusive short stature MX Series corn by Stein. Stein has yield, 45 years of yield. Learn more at steinseed.com.
Nice pass. Perek finds Sapovalov alone. What a goal! The best rivalry in junior hockey is back this Thursday, and Saginaw has a chance to claim some hardware. The Coors Light I-75 Divide Cup Series shifts back to Saginaw as the Spirit hosts the Flint Firebirds. With a win, the Spirit can claim their 5th I-75 Divide Cup championship and keep the cup right here in Saginaw. Limited tickets are still available, so get yours now at SaginawSpirit.com, and we'll see you at the Dow Event Center.
It's time to think about your pig. You know, the propane tank in your backyard that heats your home? Well, there's no better company to fill your pig than Forward Energy, covering 23 counties. Forward Energy is a family-owned and operated propane supplier that's been fueling area homes, farms, and businesses since 1925. Fill your pig this year. Visit forwardenergy.com to find out about new customer pricing and programs.
Go forward with Forward Energy.
Want a deal? Get a free Moto 5G phone when you sign up for Pure Talk's unlimited talk, unlimited text, and 15 gig data plan for just $35 a month. Dial pound 250. Say the keyword save now to get this exclusive offer and to select the plan that's right for you and your family. Pure Talk gives you America's most dependable 5G network at half the price. Dial pound 250. Say the keyword save now to claim your free Moto G 5G phone with a qualifying plan. Pure Talk, simply smarter wireless.
And Doug. With Liberty Mutual, you can customize and save hundreds on your car insurance. But what to buy with those savings? Yep, I bought a sound effects machine.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Savings may vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
.520 on WSGW. In place of the Sean Hannity third hour, we are broadcasting the Sharing Hope Radiothon, the over-the-top hour, as we do every year of the Radiothon, doing our best to go over the top and reach that goal that we have set forth. An ambitious goal when we started at 6 o'clock this morning to reach $60,000. And because of your generosity, we're getting close. This Sharing Hope Radiothon, presented by Bronner's Christmas Wonderland, by Fisher Contracting, by Mercantile Bank. We thank Dick Williams Gun Shop for the digital support. We thank Champagne and Marx and the anonymous donor right now matching up to $5,000 in this hour. Asking you to please call the Martin Chiropractic Hope line at 989-755-HOPE, 989-755-4673. We need you, please, As generous as you've been all day long, we thank those who have. If you're thinking about it and want to do it now, so we can go over the top of 60,000 by the time we reach 6 o'clock. Bill Hobson's in studio with us now, representing the Rescue Ministries, along with a special guest, which we will introduce to you in just a moment. But Bill, since we had our commercial break a moment ago, the last number we had was 49,000 plus. Have we moved that number in the last few minutes?
We really have. Mr. Marx clearly has some friends in this community, and that's so encouraging. And here we are with about 37 minutes to go in the broadcast day, or in the radiothon day. I know the broadcast day continues, and we are sitting at 54,244.
Holy cow.
So the needle has indeed moved towards our goal of 60,000. And part of the reason for that is people love to know that their gifts are being matched or doubled. And this is our most generous match that we have offered all day, and maybe in a couple of years, up to $5,000 of matching gift available. So your 30, your 100, your 200, it becomes doubled. And the phones have been really lighting up, people getting out of work, heading home, maybe even heading out to do some shopping and think, I'd like to do something special for somebody else before I go and do some Christmas shopping. So thank you. Keep it going. We're only just over $5,000 away from our goal, which is to provide 2,000 days of hope and care. That's kind of what the math breaks down to. It's roughly $30 a day to take care of somebody at the rescue mission, to provide them with the basics and some counseling and those life skills that help put life back together again. That's where we're headed.
And as much as we say 60,000 is our goal, we'd like to blow past that goal and leave it in the distance because we get so far past it. What a blessing that would be.
For sure.
We have a special guest. You know, as much as we try and do our best to be upbeat and positive and have some laughs in the seriousness of this all, we can kind of put that seriousness in perspective because you have brought somebody to our studio, Bill Hobson, which is a representation of what people's generosity will do when people need help at the Rescue Ministries.
Yes, and if you've been listening throughout the day, you may have at some point heard a recorded version of the live guest sitting next to me, because Courtney has just a powerful story to share, and we'll dig into it over the course of the next few minutes. The reason that we invite Courtney and others in is to remind your listeners, Charlie, that there are real people attached to numbers like 240 people stayed at the mission last night, or they're attached to this concept of getting their own apartment and Impact Designs helping furnish it. And there are real people attached to everything that we're doing. Every penny that you donate today stays locally. It's 100% of it stays here in the Great Lakes Bay region. It's not going anywhere else. And Courtney is a shining example of how a life can be touched and changed at the rescue mission. So it's good to see you live and in person again. It's been a couple of weeks since the two of us sat down for a recorded interview. You've had some exciting developments in your world in the form of getting your own place, having it furnished with a very unique and special touch added to the furnishings. We'll get to that in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Can you let folks know what it was originally that led you to the mission?
So I struggle a lot with mental health when I came to the mission, which is a struggle that a lot of guests experience. And when you struggle with mental health, or a lot of guests struggle with substance abuse, those types of things, domestic violence, it can be really hard to think clearly and maintain positive family and community vibes. And people make courses of decisions sometimes that ends them up in the homeless shelter. And so my mental health was just not in a place where I could live at home with my family at the time. And so I ended up at the mission, and the mission really helped me get involved in community resources and provided me with their own resources, life skills classes, mentorship, spiritual mentorship, a community that really enabled me to work through those issues and flourish in my own life.
Part of your story that we heard with Bill's interview that he was talking about, for those that didn't hear it, perhaps you can let people know where you were attempting to live before you went to the mission.
Yeah, I lived in my car for about a month before I went into shelter. And I had some income coming in. And it's very expensive to actually live in a car. Gas is probably for the car is probably cheaper than your actual utilities when it's day in and day out. So I was staying in a car for about a month, and I couldn't afford to do that anymore and had no place to go. It was cold and rainy, can't cook food, you know. It just wasn't a way to live my life.
And there were safety concerns that you had to deal with.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of going from park to park because it isn't necessarily safe, especially to be a female sleeping rough. So either directly on the streets or in a car or some sort of unsheltered situation. So driving all around just park to park to park, sleeping a couple hours, getting up, going to a new park because you don't want someone to watch you and catch on, oh, hey, this young woman or this maybe vulnerable person is sleeping in their car, and I can maybe try to take advantage of them, right?
And we're talking for listeners, we're talking the Bay City area, very familiar parks that people would know in Bay City. They're the regular public parks.
Yeah.
So how did you find the mission in the first place to seek help there?
I'd always known about the mission. I actually volunteered when I was younger. Never thought that, and that's the one thing I always tell people about homelessness. There's so many people that I see that have been involved in the shelter some way, shape, or form, a loved one, a family member themselves. It can happen to anyone. A couple of bad circumstances, and you might be that person, or you might know someone who is in need of that help. So I had experience in that capacity, but I had been guided to the shelter again in terms of getting services for myself. And so luckily they had a bed at the time, and I got my foot in the door, and I did an impact design program, which is still up and running, that assists guests with once they complete life skills classes and get involved in a local church and different really positive things that help them grow. They assist with furnishing an apartment or house, and that's really been a blessing.
Wow, what a story that is, Bill.
It is, Charlie. And when you think about the forethought that goes into the idea of picking a park to sleep in your car that has people nearby who might hear you scream if you need to scream.
Right.
I mean, when you first told me that, when we first sat down a couple of weeks ago, I kind of froze for a moment. I thought, I've never even given the least bit of thought to that level of concern and the safety precautions that you have to take. But you're absolutely right. So what did it mean for you to be able to go somewhere safe? I mean, all the other things that are happening in your life through the mission are wonderful, but safety first and foremost had to be at the top of your list.
Yeah, and that was for sure. You know, it was so hard being in the situation where you sleep for a couple hours a lot at day, because again, at night is when we're more vulnerable, right? Or when it's maybe not people with good intentions are out kind of on the prowl, I guess, maybe looking for someone to take something from or XYZ. And so I think when I got to the mission, it was the first time that I had slept, like legitimately slept peacefully and sound sleep in several months. And I kept sleeping really well after that, to be 100% honest.
Okay, so what was it like, though, to finally get a peaceful night of sleep where you didn't have to worry about your safety?
It offered a lot of clarity. It allowed me to have some aspects of clarity, whereas before, again, that's such a chaotic way to live, and everything is a crisis. And so that's one thing I'm so grateful for the mission, is that the mission is like a crisis intervention for people who are directly experiencing homelessness. And so it allows them to just have a safe, warm bed to sleep in and not have to worry about hustling in one way, shape, or form, getting the money together, or working extra hours at work, or whatever, and miss another obligation. We just have a meal for them so they can focus on their healing that led them to the homelessness situation and then move forward.
So here we have safety concerns, living in a car, no place to go, no direction, wondering what's next, and I started this segment talking about how we were trying to have some positiveness with some smiles and laughs. you had anything but that when you went into the mission. And now Courtney sits here today with a beautiful smile and she's giggling. And
I don't know if you have to take a break or not, Charlie, but as somebody who like thinks about these little teaser moments, I just want to say that she's no longer staying at the mission. And there's a really cool story attached to where she is now and how that all came about and the provision at the mission of the furnishings for that. And another special little kind of a cherry on top, right? So maybe we'll dig into that in a moment ahead.
The Sharing Hope Radiothon, Courtney's story, is a story of how you, because of your generosity, has helped that story become such a positive one for Courtney and all those that come to the Rescue Ministries. Because you make your donations. We need you to do so now, please. You call 989-755-HOPE. That's the Martin Chiropractic Hope line, 989-755-HOPE. You can also donate using Venmo and PayPal. If you visit rescuemidmichigan.org, lots of ways that you can help with your generosity to help us go over the top in this matching hour that's hosted by Champagne and Marx and an anonymous donor. We'll come back and have more of Courtney's story and find out what's going on with that tote board on WSGW's Sharing Hope Radiothon.
Mike here from Westside Decorating Center. Are you looking to save time when shopping? We all are. The next time you need paint, flooring, or window treatments, stop into our store. We have fast, efficient, and knowledgeable staff members available to help. We sell top quality ceramic paint from California Paints. Ceramic paints provide a washable and stain-resistant finish. We also have interior designers on staff to assist with flooring and window treatments. We even make house calls. For your next project, remember to use California Paints from Westside Decorating Center. We're located at 5789 State Street in Saginaw Township, or online at westsidedecoratingcenter.com.
The versatile Kubota B-Series is a do-it-all tractor. Run powerful attachments that can be easily switched out. It features a hydrostatic transmission and is simple to maintain. The Kubota B-Series. It makes the hard work look easy. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L-Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L-Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
See Kim Weiss at Lingle Equipment, 3001 Sawyer Drive along I-75 at the M81 Carroll exit just south of the Zilwaukee Bridge, Saginaw. Call Kim today at 989-754-7801 or email at k.weiss@lingle1.com.
Minetti, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks finishing higher with the Dow notching a back-to-back record close as investors are optimistic about the Fed's interest rate cut projections. A major catalyst for stocks of late has been retreating 10-year Treasury yields. The Dow up 158 points, the Nasdaq up 28, S&P 500 up 12. The latest batch of U.S. economic data showed that jobless claims fell by 19,000 to 202,000, which was the lowest level since mid-October, while retail sales rose a solid 0.3% in November, a good start to the holiday shopping season, suggesting that the economy might not be cooling off that much. And you'll be paying less for a mortgage this week, with rates falling below 7% for the first time since the summer. The average rate on the standard 30-year fixed-rate mortgage falling to 6.95%, according to Freddie Mac. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Hillary Barsky, invested in you.
Hi, Dr. Ron Paul here. The Fed creates and pops bubbles using interest rate manipulation. Why put the value of your IRA or 401k at their mercy? This is why I recommend a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To get a free info kit from Birch Gold, text the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to 989898. Do it now and protect your savings.
There are a lot of decisions to make before you decide to spend your hard-earned money. How will it benefit me? Which features stand out? How much does it cost? And is it the best value? You need knowledgeable people helping you make the best decisions. Somebody that knows what they're talking about. Whether you're remodeling, dining out, planning your financial future, or making the right choices in running your business, the members of the Independent Business Association of Saginaw County are your best trusted source. The IBASC businesses serve this area with expertise, professionalism, and some of the best customer service anywhere. When you visit their website, ibasag.com, you'll find them. They're your neighbors who live and work in Saginaw County. They own local businesses and provide jobs to hundreds of residents. They're volunteers. They donate their time and money to local charitable organizations and care about your community. Keep the dollars here. Spend at the locally owned companies that make up the IBASC. People you know, businesses you can trust. For more information on these great businesses, visit ibasag.com.
Sharing Hope Radiothon continues. It's 5:36 this December 14th. We're into the over-the-top hour, heading towards 6, trying to achieve that goal of $60,000. Thanks to Champagne and Marx, an anonymous donor this hour, helping to match up to $5,000. Sharing Hope Radiothon, presented by Bronner's Christmas Wonderland, Fisher Contracting, Mercantile Bank, and we need you to please call that Martin Chiropractic Hope line at 989-755-HOPE. Bill Hobson of the Rescue Ministries. Before we update the total that we have, why don't we continue and finish up with Courtney's story? As we went to the break, you were telling us that as much as Courtney came to the mission for help, Courtney's no longer at the mission. What's the story?
Well, yeah, because the goal of Rescue Ministries is to get you back on your feet, to help you put those pieces back together again. But I mean, I don't want to sound callous or anything, but we don't want you there forever. That's not the point of the rescue mission. It's to rescue and not to become your permanent home. But they certainly want to assist on that journey. And Courtney, you got some guidance and some help. And why don't you take the story from there?
So I started working because like going back to the fact that we don't want to see you again once you shut up on our door. We want to invest and pour all the love and money and resources into folks so that they can be long-term successful and not have to go through that hardship again. And so I was assisted with life skills classes and learned about boosting my resume and just employment and savings. So I was able to get a job through the rescue mission. They helped me save and budget my money. So I was able to get a car about a year after leaving, which was a super huge blessing because that's a huge barrier for so many people. And now I work at the Rescue Ministries as a women's shelter staff, which has been one of the greatest blessings in my life. I'm very, very grateful that I get to mentor guests who are going through homelessness like I was mentored and guided and really be a part of helping them. So,
and that move out story also includes involvement from the newest aspect of ministry at Rescue Ministries, which is called Impact Designs. For those of you who are new to that idea, the mission uses household furnishings and furniture that all of you all donate. There's a big warehouse right there at the main campus in Saginaw, and it's filled with, well, basically everything you can imagine for a home, from couches and chairs and end tables and lamps to towels and mattresses and sheets, and it's to furnish a house. Mm-hmm. And so Impact Designs helped turn what was probably a fairly sparse space for you into a home, right?
Yeah.
What did it mean to you to have it be more than just an empty space?
So I think that the assistance of Impact Design really helped me stay motivated and on track because the rescue mission gave me a lot of tools. And at that point, it was up to me to stay on track and use the tools that I had learned and reach out to the resources that are available. And so walking into a home that is a home and not just like an empty room, they helped me get a cat as well. And so
did you want the cat?
Yeah, I really wanted the cat. Yeah. I really wanted the cat. Yeah.
Surprise.
But that was so helpful because it kept me focused and motivated. I had a reason not to give up. I'm like, you can't give up because, God willing, you were assisted with furnishing. You have this beautiful bed. I mean, they did a beautiful job. You have these beautiful decorations. Like, who's going to take care of the cat if you go back to the mission? Because unfortunately we don't house, pets. And so that when I wanted to give up or when I just kind of you have a bad day and I want to call in work and I want to, that self-sabotaging that sometimes people go through, it really just helped me stay on track, and it helped financially as well. because it's very expensive to furnish an apartment. And a lot of people go into shelter without any source of income, and they just start working. And it takes a while to build that savings.
You also mentioned, Bill, as wonderful as this story is, there's a cherry on top.
Well, the cat was the special request that she made, because when you go through the Impact Designs program, you actually meet with volunteer interior designers and share with them what your preferences are, your favorite colors, maybe your themes, so that if there are donated items that can help match what you've shared, well, then that's a perfect fit. And that happens every single time. People are donating things that somebody else has a proclivity towards. But Courtney had this unique request of, I'd like a cat. Well, there aren't any cats laying around the warehouse, so they went and found you a cat somehow, right?
Yeah. But it was, like I said, it was one of the, when I walked into my apartment, I was like tearing up, I tried not to cry too much. I figured I did all my crying when I was in my crises, and now, let's be strong and move on. But when they pulled out the cat, it was done and over with. I was hysterical. But like I said, it's such a motivator, because I think there's times maybe I would have not completely fallen off track, but I would have maybe not done as well as I would have, when it's like, hey, I have this beautiful apartment and it helps keep me focused. I'm safe. I don't want to squander this blessing that I've been given.
Courtney, we can't thank you enough for sharing your story. What a story it is, from where you had been to where you are today. It's amazing. And again, it's amazing, a story of what we hear from Courtney, that we hear from those who do seek the help of the Rescue Ministries, because of the amazing generosity of our listeners. As we once again remind you, we're about 18 minutes away from 6 o'clock, to the end of the Sharing Hope Radiothon. And we're looking to go over that $60,000 goal, asking you to please call the Martin Chiropractic Hope line, 989-755-HOPE. That's 989-755-4673. Bill Hobson, do we take a break and come back with an update? Or
We'll do that.
All
for
right.
Sure.
Again, Courtney, thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll take a break and come back and find out where we are and where we need to be or want to be in just a moment on WSGW.
Mental health exists in people we run into every day. Being able to talk about that openly and being able to have those conversations is so important. We can ask each other questions about our physical health. Hey, have you ever felt this? Have you ever done that? Why is it not the same for mental health? When frankly, they're so intertwined, if we don't treat one, then the other often suffers. And so being able to treat both our physical and mental health is really important, and being able to talk about that and make them really just equal things. It's just health. It's overall well-being.
To learn more, visit wellspringtherapists.com.
In this corner, traditional commodity fertilizers that fail to provide crops what they need. And in this corner, the winner and reigning champ, Micro Essentials, the Mighty Micro, the nutrient-packed granule that delivers a wallop of more uniform nutrient distribution, increased nutrient uptake, and season-long sulfur availability. Supercharge your yields with Micro Essentials, the Mighty Micro from Mosaic. Commodity fertilizers won't know what hit them. They say in the summer, if you listen closely, you can hear the corn grow. But what if Micro Essentials, the Mighty Micro, gave every single solitary stalk the superpower to grow and yield more? Micro Essentials beats commodity fertilizers by packing all the balanced nutrition crops need into a single granule for more uniform nutrient distribution, increased nutrient uptake, and season-long sulfur availability. Supercharge your yields with Micro Essentials, the Mighty Micro from Mosaic.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit, HIMS.com/RADIO.
The holiday season is right around the corner, so give the gift that's hard to wrap but easy to give. Give them a Steel. With powerful trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws to place under the tree, the Steel Holiday Gift Guide has something for everyone. Save $20 on the BGA 57 battery-powered blower. Visit your local Steel dealer or go to steelusa.com/gift guide. Real Steel. Find yours. Now $179.99 was $199.99 MSRP. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Go with your gut. Your dog's immune system is based in the gut. A diet lacking in nutrients can cause itching, scratching, and a weak immune system. However, there is a solution. DINOVITE. Dinovite.
It took a grand total of 2 weeks. The dog stopped itching, the hair stopped falling out.
Try Dinovite for free. Just pay shipping and handling. Learn more at dinovite.com/radio.
Happier, healthier with every bite. Over 1 million pets helped with Dinovite.
.547 on WSGW. It's December 14th. It is the 2023 date of the Sharing Hope Radiothon. 6 o'clock this morning we started. We're getting close to 6 o'clock. It's a 12-hour radiothon with the hopes of raising a goal this year of $60,000. It's presented by Bronner's Christmas Wonderland, by Fisher Contracting, Mercantile Bank, thanks to the digital help from Dick Williams Gun Shop. A number of other businesses, too, throughout the day. This hour, we're having special thanks for Champagne and Marx, always helping us with the over-the-top hour, along with an anonymous donor matching gifts up to $5,000 to help us get over the top by 6 o'clock. We have a few minutes left. Dan Streeter, I'm not sure how we want to do this. I know that the totals that we're getting are being updated. Do you want to?
Yeah, so there's some calls that are coming in. And so I was down there trying right to the very last second of the break. And so if we can hold off for just another minute or two.
We can hold off as long as necessary.
Because I think we're getting really close to that goal.
Well, we hope that we not only get close, we go by and leave it in the distance.
That's right.
So you can have an opportunity to do that. Listeners, please get your gifts in now. The Martin Chiropractic Hope line, 989-755-HOPE. Also through Venmo and PayPal, you can make your gifts too. Dan, we've been rejoined in studio by our special guest representing Champagne and Marx.
Yeah, so we've got Annie and Christine, and here because of the legacy of their father. I was kind of curious, my dad had a little bit of an influence in my life. I've got a few stories that I could tell. I'm curious if you guys have like an aha moment or a defining moment that helped open your eyes to think of others, and maybe something that your dad did. I'm putting you on the spot a little bit.
So I know that when I first got my first job out of college, my mom said, now you have your big girl job, and you got to tide and give money and find something that's special to you. And the City Rescue Mission's been a special place for me and my family. This year for Christmas, instead of buying each other gifts, there's 6 of us that are adults, and we decided to buy gifts off the list for the people that are staying at the City Rescue Mission here in Saginaw. And I understand at that time when we bought the gifts, there was 125 guests at the rescue mission that day. So I'm hoping that others came too and gave gifts so everyone would get a gift at the rescue mission this Christmas.
That's amazing.
Part of the family legacy.
Yes. And so, we got numbers that continue to go, but it's something that it's so intriguing to me, having been involved with the ministry as an employee for 32 years, to continue to see the generosity of this community and coming around and the quality effort. And it's usually, we don't rely on big donors. It is thousands of people, just like today, calling, doing what they can, being involved, volunteering. And it just is that entire community effort that has sustained us and allowed us to be able to do this quality work. And we're just so thankful to be able, that you entrust us to be able to do this day in and day out. And it allows us as well that ongoing care allows us to continue to dream and to think, and how can we be more impactful, and how can we do more to help? We're not the same mission when I started 32 years ago, and I'm really thankful for that, because it gives us a chance to continue to look at people like Courtney. And I don't know that Courtney's story would have turned out the same if we wouldn't have had Impact Designs, and that meaningful touch to build bonds, and even the story of your father, that meaningful way to engage and to demonstrate love. And God moves us in all kinds of different ways in our hearts. And the biggest thing is, I just say, you respond. And maybe you heard today and you couldn't pull over and you couldn't make that gift. We'd love for you to come by the mission and just see firsthand, and walk through the facility and see the people's lives that are being changed, and the what we try to accomplish within the facility: clean, caring, engaging, and meaningful work.
We should thank once again. We have Annie and Christine with us, and you are with us today, representing Champagne and Marx. Why do we have you in studio with us today, if we may ask that you've joined us to be part of this Radiothon?
So our dad, Tom Marx, always came to the Radiothon, and he had an important appointment today that he couldn't miss, that he'd already changed a couple times. So he assured us that this would be really rewarding, and that he would never have to come again, that we would take his place. He's turning the baton over. And he thought he was selling it, but it is rewarding, and I appreciate everybody calling in. And Christine and I were in the back when several people called in, including my husband, and it is rewarding. I appreciate everybody calling in.
Yes, because every dollar counts. I mean, $5, $10. I mean, it all makes a difference. And let's just see this, the mission, to be sustainable and to help people, like the stories you've heard today. I was listening to Courtney, and she talked about how she was like not going to cry when she got into her new home. And when they gave her the cat, that was all it took. I mean, that was over the top, and we want to go over the top today too. So give the radio station a call, go online.
And you can still do so. We're going to take one final break, come back, and see what we've totaled up here. We're at 5:53. We'll come back and find out if we've gone over the top in this special hour of the Radiothon on WSGW. We'll give you a chance to make those phone calls as we take the break. 989-755-HOPE, 989-755-4673 for the Sharing Hope Radiothon on WSGW and our Alpha Media stations.
A Dow Credit Union membership is what your money deserves. With our 13-month special CD at 5.76% APY, we're making it easier than ever for you to maximize your earnings. If you're ready to earn more, go to dowcreditunion.org/offer or visit us in Midland or Saginaw. Membership eligibility required. Advertised annual percentage yield assumes principal and interest remain on deposit for the term of the certificate. Offered APY is subject to change. Insured by NCUA.
With Liberty Mutual, you can customize and save hundreds on your car insurance. But what to buy with those savings? Yep, I bought a sound effects machine.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Savings may vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty. The holiday season is right around the corner, so give the gift that's hard to wrap but easy to give. Give them a Stihl. With powerful trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws to place under the tree, the Stihl Holiday Gift Guide has something for everyone. Save $30 on the GTA 26 battery-powered garden pruner. Visit your local Stihl dealer or go to stihlusa.com/gift guide. Real Stihl. Find yours. Now $149.99 was $179.99 MSRP. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
All right, we got a lot to squeeze in here in the waning moments of the Sharing Hope Radiothon on WSGW at 5:55. Let me ask, before we talk about what's happening with today and the total, Dan Streeter, as much as we have had people making donations today, for those that perhaps they didn't have the opportunity the rescue ministries are 365, 24/7. Next year, you're 366. It's a leap year, by the way. How do we go about when it comes to financial support or volunteering? Where do we guide them at any time?
You can always make a gift by going to our website, rescuemidmichigan.org. You can call the mission, 989-755-HOPE. We've got that phone line that's always active. And you can also mail in a check and just and mail it into the mission. You can see our address at the website. So, or you can just come in, and if you want to drop off a donation as well. It's very flexible. We try to make it extremely easy for you in whatever way fits best for you.
All right. So here we are at 5:56. It is Thursday. It's December 14th on WSGW, the date of the Sharing Hope Radiothon. It's presented by Bronner's Christmas Wonderland, by Fisher Contracting, by Mercantile Bank, the digital support of Dick Williams Gun Shop, many businesses throughout the day, and you, our loyal family of listeners, making your calls throughout the day to the Martin Chiropractic Hope line, 989-755-HOPE. An ambitious goal was set at 6 o'clock this morning to try to achieve $60,000. Bill Hobson of the Rescue Ministries, where are we at here just before 6 o'clock?
Charlie, I think we're going to have a party. A few weeks ago, we actually set out a goal of 55,000, and then we got to talking a bit about stretching ourselves a little bit and setting the goal at 60,000 to make it 2,000 days of hope and care. We are still taking calls as we sit here, but as of this moment, the total sits at $70,109.
Yeah.
So we've assembled the choir here, Charlie. We always try to work on a very special song, and we never really get it down. So we default back to the familiar one. But we just want to just say thank you to the Great Lakes Bay region, the listeners of all of the Alpha Media stations, and especially WSGW. This last hour has been the most powerful 5 o'clock hour that we have had in the history of doing the 5 o'clock hour. And we were a little concerned about making the goal, honestly, when we started this hour. And lo and behold, here comes the generosity culture that is the Great Lakes Bay region, delivering this incredible. We didn't just go over the 60,000, we just went over the 70,000, and they're about to add another donation to it. That is just absolutely incredible. So I want the choir to all join together. You ready, everybody? Here we go. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And for Charlie, who's been here since 2 a.m., thank you for your tireless contributions, your efforts to all of this. We truly do wish everybody a Merry Christmas. May the Lord bless you and your family and all of the families represented in those 240 beds being occupied tonight at the rescue mission. We pray that their lives will be forever changed because of the generosity all of you have demonstrated today. So thank you a million times over, or 70,109 times over.
And I think that's a good way to end it, by simply saying thank you on behalf of everyone with WSGW and the Sharing Hope Radiothon of 2023. We are going to move on to our news as we close things out here in the next few seconds and continue a regular broadcast day into the night. It's been anything but a regular broadcast day because of the Sharing Hope Radiothon and your generosity. Over $70,000. Wow. It's 6 o'clock.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Monica Ricks. Chaos in southern Gaza as more aid trickles in from Egypt. CBS's Robert Berger has the latest from Jerusalem.
The UN is reporting scenes of desperation as trucks carrying humanitarian aid enter Gaza from Egypt. Crowds of hungry people have been climbing onto the trucks and grabbing packages. Video shows that other trucks have been seized by Hamas gunmen.
Meantime, President Biden was asked today whether Israel should scale back its attacks on Hamas.
I want them to be focused on how to save civilian lives, not stop going after Hamas, but be more careful.
Authorities stop potential terror attacks in Europe. Stuart McIntosh is with the BBC.
German prosecutors say they've arrested 3 Hamas members who were preparing to carry out attacks on Jewish targets. Another man was arrested in the Netherlands. Reports say they were detained as they were picking up weapons from an underground hiding place on the way to Berlin.
Holiday break will have to wait. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says senators will be back on Monday to continue talks on passing more military aid for Ukraine.
If we believe something is important and urgent, we should stay and get the job done. That is certainly the case with the supplemental. It is important. It is urgent.
Former Speaker Kevin McCarthy gave a farewell address on the House floor today and left his colleagues with some advice.
We cannot let this body fail to do the jobs they're so most basic that we should do every day. And we should never allow this body to stop for doing what is right.
McCarthy's retiring after 16 years in office. It comes 2 months after his ousting. It has been 11 years now since the shooting rampage at Sandy Hook Elementary in Newtown, Connecticut, where 20 children and 6 staff members died. Today, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries